Mike Herrera talks Jason Sands and a whole lot more. It's time for another UFO news roundup, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, when the Jason Sands story first broke out, I texted Michael Herrera, and I asked him about Jason. Is he legit? Is he not legit? And Mike said he would dig into the situation and get back to me. And yesterday, he replied in the comments section of my yesterday's roundup. And this is what he had to say. He actually talked more about Randy Kramer, than he did Jason Sands. But it is relevant pertaining the 20 and Back program. So let's go over what he said. He says, I ask some favors for people who can look into Randy's background. He has no service record as a U.S. Marine. He also claimed he was a Navy SEAL, which he wasn't. I've let some producers for Gaia know. So yeah, Randy Kramer may not be legit. Okay, so I asked him about Jason Sands. And Mike says, well, that's a tough one to crack right now. I know people who personally interviewed him in a skiff. They took Sands seriously, but I was advised not to comment on him publicly yet, except what he's saying right now. And yeah, so that's really interesting that Jason Sands is evidently qualified of being taken into a skiff. You know, he's got the right credentials or whatever to get into a skiff. But is the information that he's giving in a skiff accurate? That seems to be the question. Mike says, as for Randy Kramer's claims, the fact that he has no service records is a red flag. Also claiming to be a SEAL can't be one as a Marine. You can cross deck into a Navy to give buds a try. I don't know what buds is, Mike, but okay. Even the insiders I'm working with have service records from their time in the military before going private. Your record of service isn't top secret, but your tasks or missions can be. Randy has used the claim that his record of service is classified, which is never the case. So yeah, record of service not classified. Very interesting. Great information from Mike Herrera. Sheds a little light on the Jason Sands situation. If nothing else, he has gone into skiffs. So there is that. But as for Randy Kramer, the guy that apparently passed a lie detector test, claiming not only to have been in the 20 and Back program, but also to have killed an extraterrestrial, apparently he might be full of BS. So great information from Mike Herrera. The jury is still out, however, on Jason Sands. All right, so yeah, moving on to the next story. Check this out. There was a recent guest on Joe Rogan, Bart Sibrel, who claims that NASA's Apollo missions are all a hoax. Now, I can't play the clip because every time I play a clip from Joe Rogan, it gets a copyright claim. But basically what he says is that he knows somebody in the Chinese space agency, and that source has told him that they have been blackmailing NASA apparently for years over their knowledge that the Apollo missions were faked. And of course, the Apollo missions are, where we went to the moon, right? So kind of a big deal if that was faked. Now, could Bart Sibrel's source, this Chinese informant in the space agency, could he be spreading disinformation? I think that's very possible. However, it's one of those things that can't be proven or disproven. But yeah, he's saying that the Apollo missions were BS. China found out about it and has been blackmailing them in exchange for technology all this time. So very interesting claim from Bart Sibrel. I would love more details on it. But yeah, to the next story. This is really interesting. So Rick Dodie is accusing Lou Reviews of disinformation. Now, of course, Richard Dodie, infamous Richard Dodie. And let me ask you guys, because I may have the opportunity to either interview Rick Dodie or to allow Jon Stewart, who's much closer to Rick Dodie than I am. Now, I'm not close at all. I had one brief interaction with him on Disclosure Tonight. And, but yeah, apparently Rick Dodie is up for an interview on Cosmic Road. And, Jon Stewart, who has actually worked with him favorably, might be in a better position to interview him and have more pertinent questions to ask because they did work together on vetting things like the alien interview, if I'm getting my facts straight. So would y'all like to see an interview with Rick Dodie? Let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see an interview with Rick Dodie, possibly given by Jon Stewart. So let me know, guys. Let me know. And thank you very much, John, for offering to do that. I think that's really cool. And, Rick Dodie is an interesting character, but he does seem to have helped you in your research. So that's awesome. And he has done, anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go at the moment with Rick Dodie. But he is saying that Lou Reviews is disinformation. So let's hear what Rick has to say.
Let me say something. Lou, it's my impression that you are a disinformation person that's planted in these rooms. You disinform. You're not approaching anything with an open mind. All you want to do is argue and distort facts and call people liars. So that's my impression of you, that you are in fact a disinformation person in this room.
Okay, all right. Shots fired by Rick Dodie, former disinformation agent, calling Lou Reviews a disinformation agent. It's unclear if he means that he is a paid government employee, like Rick was. But either way, shots fired. Shots fired from Rick Dodie. All right. Yeah, was or is, of course, is always the question with Rick Dodie. Okay. And I keep on seeing this, and there's a similar video as well, purporting to be, the bodies of Anunnaki or giants that were found in Iraq during the war. And, this is supposed to be, I think, actually Nimrod. But yeah, I keep on, there's another very similar one that purports to be a giant. Actually, I think that one is supposed to be Gilgamesh. What are these things legit? Do you think there were bodies found in Iraq? Because this is a story that I keep hearing. And Timothy Alberino was talking about it the other day, and he was asked if Anunnaki were found in Iraq, and he was like, "Well, it's not Anunnaki, but giants. Yes, there were giants that were found in Iraq, and that was one of the side missions." It wasn't the reason for the war in Iraq, but it was definitely a bonus for the control group to get their hands on these giants. Now, that is a well-groomed beard. That is a well-groomed beard for a giant. I mean, for an ancient mummified or whatever body. I mean, look at that beard. That looks like a mask. Maybe that is a mask. Maybe it's just a poor quality, resolution, and that's actually a death mask of some sort that we're looking at here. If it's legit, or it could be totally a hoax. I am certainly not vouching for this or any similar videos, but this is a story I keep on seeing, and occasionally there's even video like this of these purported giants found in Iraq. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is this a true story? Is this on the level? Also, by the way, guys, the ancient, over 100 years ago, they had better cars than we do. I mean, look at that beautiful vehicle, guys. Wouldn't you like to drive that thing? That is amazing. 1913. Obviously made for some wealthy guy, probably maybe a custom job, but just a beautiful car. Obviously, futuristic for the time, like retro futurism, but actually, yeah. So that's a beautiful car, guys. I would love to ride in that sucker. I mean, the suspension is probably crap, though. I mean, look at that. But that's an awesome car. I love it. I want a car like that. With better suspension. Okay, now, to get back to MH-370, this is one of the best arguments for MH-370 being a legit anomalous phenomenon, or else legit disinformation by the government, concealing some sort of skullduggery, like, for example, shooting down the plane. Ashton Forbes says this video is 100% real. Anyone telling you otherwise is a liar and/or in denial due to ontological shock. The text in the bottom left says NROL22, and this is the satellite data, satellite feed. And the coordinates next to it are the real location of MH-370 on March 7th, 2014 at around 1800 hours and 40 minutes UTC. This location was not known to the public until May 28th, 2014, when the raw telemetry data was released. The video was published 9 days prior on May 19th, 2014. These facts are absolute proof that this is a real video of MH370. So there you go, data that was not publicly available at the time the videos were released or leaked or, whatever it was known by whoever put this out there. So, what does this mean? It means either it was an inside job, disinformation, a hoax designed to conceal some sort of skullduggery, or else this is a legit anomalous event. I don't think there's any two ways about it, guys. There's no two ways about it. And if it was a hoax, it was a really good hoax. Because there's not only the drone footage, but also the two satellite videos, right? That can combined be used to create a 3D image, which is, I think, what's going on here. So, it's not using static 2D stock imagery to create this imagery, which is one of the debunks that has been going around. So, that didn't happen. So, it's a very elaborate hoax. If it's a hoax, there's so many little details in this video that Ashton will take you through and take you through again. And if you want to see his research, then I encourage everybody to check it out because he has done a fantastic job of analyzing the available information. Well, there's just so many fine details that to me make a hoax seem unlikely. Or not a hoax, but even a disinformation, effort. So I'm leaning toward this being a genuine anomalous event. But, I could be totally wrong and it could be disinformation to conceal, possibly shooting down the plane. Very well done disinformation. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a weird case. It's a weird case. There have been no bodies found, which is possibly the biggest sign that it was a genuine anomalous event. Or if they did shoot the plane down, they did a good job at covering their butts on it. But it's a tricky case. You have to be very sensitive because obviously it's very possible that many lives were lost during this event. But it's also possible that those people are missing and need to be found. So yeah, it's interesting. Complicated case, but I'm leaning toward it being real. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this is a really interesting older case from 1963 that the Juan is talking about. And I'd never heard about this. This is really intriguing. Where they placed a tracking device on a USO, on an underwater UFO. Cool case, guys. Cool case. I want to know more about this. This event is alleged to have occurred in 1963 off the coast of Puerto Rico during what was to become a busy year for USO sightings in that vicinity. The USO precautions situation in our waters has been occurring for decades now. Hopefully, Dolan's new book, maybe out this summer, that's Richard Dolan, who's writing a book about USOs, will further open government eyes. I sure hope so. Hope it opens our eyes and we get a better understanding of what's going on under the waters. 13 craft, getting back to the incident, including submersibles and aircraft, noted in their official logs that their underwater tracking devices had latched on to said high-speed submersible, in other words, a USO, all of which is said to have immediately been reported to Complant in Norfolk, Virginia. The technicians kept track of the object for 4 days. They tracked this underwater alien, possibly vehicle for 4 days. And it maneuvered roundabout and down to depths of 27,000 feet. Also, a sonar operator on one of the small vessels reported to his bridge that one of the submarines had broken formation and gone off in what appeared to be pursuit of some unknown object. Very intriguing situation, and this information is coming from Ivan Sanderson's book, Invisible Residents. So, yeah, fascinating. I can't wait to hear more about this case and hopefully many interesting cases in Richard Dolan's new book. Really fascinating. I'm very interested in what this object was doing. It was just kind of maneuvering around. It just maneuvered roundabout. I mean, what was it doing? Was it just like on a joyride? I mean, surely it was doing something, right? It was on a mission or something. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Okay, yeah, and it looks like the information about Chris Mellon's information about the Kingman UFO crash and crash retrieval, the UFO crash retrieval of Kingman, which may have been up to 3 different craft. Well, that's getting more play. The Daily Star has an article here about it. I'm not going to read it, but I think it's significant that Chris Mellon's story, a huge story, guys, a major story about an event that was likely foundational to the UFO control group. Not only getting this technology, I'm sure they already had technology, but also live beings that recovered from these craft that came to assist them in developing their own technology. So yeah, a critical event in the annals of the UFO control group. And Chris Mellon has basically validated this event, and now it's getting some play. So I love that. Great stuff. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to show this until tomorrow, but okay, check out this crazy frilled shark. I never heard of a frilled shark. Yeah, the lineage is over 20 million years old, or 80 million years old. This sucker or its forefathers were swimming with dinosaurs, guys. Look at that crazy monster. That's wild. Love it. Look at those gills. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy creature. Love it. Okay, all right. Check this out. This is interesting. Getting back to like UFO news. Yeah, the Congress people don't have a clue. They really don't, or else they're totally obfuscating. This is from Askapol, Matt Laszlo, Jim Hines, ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. I'll go to the whole interview. Matt Laszlo says, "Hey, I was curious. I know UAPs aren't really on your radar, but how much are UASs, the unmanned aerial system, the drones that keep buzzing the military installations? Because we're hearing from a lot of senators, Senator Tim Kaine complaining about it over Langley. Yeah, and Mark Warner also just brought it up. Yeah, more and more Congress people are talking about these drones over Langley and similar installations. One has to wonder if it's similar to the UFOs that will dog U.S. war fleets, like, the Nimitz fleet, for example, possibly leading to the Tic Tac event. And if that has any bearing on the small UFOs that buzz airborne objects like the Dragons. It's all kind of a pattern, right? A pattern of surveillance or something. Very intriguing. So UAS, I kind of hate the new nomenclature, but whatever. Jim says, what's a UAS? Matt Laszlo has to explain to him unmanned aerial systems. Systems? Doesn't know what the word system is. Yeah, Matt says. I mean, Mark Kelly said it's drones. And Jim Hines just wants to clarify, oh my God, we're not talking about ETs, are we? And Matt Laszlo says, no, UAS. And Jim Hines says, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said UAPs. Huh. Not talking about UFOs. Okay, all right, thank God. Matt Laszlo says, I said, I know you guys aren't investigating that, but we're hearing complaints of a persistent problem of the invasion of U.S. airspace above sensitive military and nuclear sites. A lot of senators are bringing this up regularly to Joint Chiefs of Staff, etc. Yeah, Jim Hines says it's always a risk. Yeah. Okay, so he says he's a backbencher. Matt presses him, but how much are you investigating? Jim Hines says Congress isn't investigating. It's a security risk, right? It's a tactical security risk, right? I mean, it's just so easy for somebody to go to Walmart, buy a drone, and fly it over a sensitive facility. So it's a real issue, but I'm not sure it's, gonna. And Matt says, well, you have U.S. senators now saying they fear this is foreign nations above U.S. military and nuclear sites. Jim Hines says, I haven't seen that, so I can't. I guess it's theoretically possible. Okay, so Jim Hines, who doesn't even want to talk about UFOs, is basically saying that no, it's not a foreign adversary. I guess it's theoretically possible. Even he doesn't buy that BS explanation that it is some foreign power surveilling our military installations. So I thought that was a really intriguing exchange between Jim Hines and Matt Laszlo. Last but not least, was there a UFO over the Roswell Fire? As many of you know, there was a fire that swept through the Roswell Air Force Base, the famous Roswell Air Force Base, the other day. And, it was contained, of course, and I think Hangar 87, where the saucer, or the craft, rather, was found, was intact. But some have pointed to this picture showing what really appears to be a UFO over Roswell. So is this just one more UAS that's coming to check out a military installation, intrigued perhaps by the fire? Or is it possible that the UFO caused this fire as an FU to the control group? Because there's the school of thought that many of the beings want disclosure, and that they are annoyed with the powers that be for dragging their heels on disclosure. Could this possibly be some sign that that is the case, or is it just checking up on the fire? Let me know what you guys think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, links below, all that good stuff. Discord, and if you wanted to support the channel, you could buy a t-shirt, merch store below, or become a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.